After the Evergrande scandal and the defaulting on payments has seemed to have died down, a second property giant in China has defaulted on interest payments to the tune of $300 million. On Monday, this company's come to light. It's a company appropriately named Fantasia because it's a fantasy land, I think. They've missed $300 million worth of payments. They've told one company that they owe money to that they are likely to default on the loan altogether. And their shares have been suspended on the Hong Kong stock market, where the price of those shares have fallen by 80%. So is this another sign that the Chinese property market bubble is about to burst and spill over into other markets around the world? Well, let's see. Let's see what the Chinese government will do to contain this. In the UK, things are going up in price. Everything is going up in price. Prices are rising by the fastest amount for 25 years, and the markets are predicting 6% inflation quite soon. And also, a lot of economists are predicting what's called stagflation. This means that you have a stagnation in the economy itself, in the underlying economy, but inflation in prices. And that's bad news. This is what happened to countries like Japan, which has still had problems 30 years later. Their stock market is still half of what it was at the peak in the 1980s. So that can seriously affect the economy. It's what happened to the UK in the 1970s, and it took years to get out of that inflation. Inflation is like a virus. It's like a disease. Once you get it, it's not easy to get rid of it. And when you have rising prices, but at the same time wages and productivity are not rising by the same amount, that's when people start to fall behind. 6% means inflation means that if you have money sitting in the bank earning almost zero, that £100 sitting in that bank a year later will only buy you what £96 buys you today. So it's falling behind by £6 every year just for nothing. And imagine you multiply that by, so if you've got £100,000 in savings in your pension and it's falling behind by £6,000, that's a lot. And of course, this affects the lower paid people at the bottom end of the scale, the working class, the middle classes. It doesn't affect the super rich, because if you're holding assets during inflationary periods, those assets are usually going up in value. Like property went up in periods of high inflation in Britain, property prices were flying up by 20-25% a year. But then so were income, so were prices, so was everything else. And the stock market used to grow by more than that in those days. But it's better to have lower inflation where the economy is under control. What's causing it? Well, I guess just the economic outlook at the moment, printing trillions of dollars, pounds and euros. The national debt in the UK is now £2 trillion. It's 800% of GDP. And it hasn't helped. I mean, obviously during the last couple of years, they spent 400 billion trying to prop up the economy and support the economy with things like the job furlough, which just ended. But, the country is in almost wartime levels of debt. It's never been this bad. And the same thing is happening in America, of course, where they've printed more dollars than have ever been in circulation. So we will have to see how the leaders will get us out of this problem. And talking of inflation, gas prices in Europe have been shooting up literally by, I think, 37% in 24 hours the other day. But Russia's President Vladimir Putin, this enemy of the state, it's done us a favor, because he seems to have calmed the market by saying that Russia will produce more gas. They're upping production, a bit like the oil sheiks used to do when oil prices were going up too high. They'd turn on the taps and produce more oil. And that's what Russia's doing. So prices may settle down. But we're in for a cold winter in the UK. Many people are going to have to face some tough decisions this winter. Maybe they'll have to decide whether they can heat or eat. So it's going to be a difficult time this winter for sure. Now, how were you affected by Facebook's outage this week? They've restored service, obviously, back now, so things are okay. Watch out for those messages, by the way. I had a message today from Facebook saying, we've received a request to reset your password. So there's obviously some fraudsters out there trying to get into your account. So just be careful of that. But how did it affect you? Was it just a question of, well, I couldn't look at my favorite short videos, or was it more serious than that? Were you unable to contact relatives abroad, or transfer money, or put ads out, or run seminars, run webinars? How did that affect things? I'd like to hear your comments. And then look at how much time you spend on social media. A lot of people have become more or less addicted to social media. They're looking at it as soon as they get out of bed in the morning, or maybe they're still in bed, and they're looking at it while they're out on dates. They're looking at it while they're in the toilet. And if you look at your smartphone, it will tell you how much screen time you actually spend during the day. And for some, it's 8, 9, 10, 12 hours a day on social media. Now, can you make better use of your time? Well, I'm not saying come off social media altogether, but could you use your time more effectively? Could you, in fact, make some money for yourself on social media instead of just making money for other people? Well, the answer is yes. In fact, you are already making money for other people by clicking on ads, by looking at products, by buying products online. You are making money for somebody online, so why not make it for yourself? And you can all learn this. It's a learnable skill. It's not rocket science. And what it can do to help you is to help you stop wasting so much time on social media and instead start making money on social media. So there's a free web class which you can look at right now. Please click on the link if you're interested in that. It's not just a sales pitch. It's a web class giving you real tips and real information, real education on how to set up a business online, how to promote maybe your own existing business online, or how to become an online online marketer, if you like, and maybe change your life. It could be a part-time income for you. It could eventually replace your salary from your job. Maybe you're not happy with your job and you'd like to have more freedom in your life. I mean, how would you like to be able to work from home all the time instead of just, during the lockdown? How would you like to be able to work from anywhere in the world where there's a Wi-Fi signal? Wouldn't that be fantastic? How would you like to be a nomad capitalist, a laptop lifestyle entrepreneur? Why not? It's all possible. People are doing this right now. When you see sometimes people sitting in cafes on their laptops, on their smartphones, some of these people are making money online. They're making money while they sleep. So check out that free web class below. Look at the training, whether you own a business or you want to start a business but without quitting your job at the moment, whether you're serious about building a profitable online business and you're just tired maybe of just wasting so much time on social media making money for other people and you'd like to make money for yourself. So stop wasting time on social media and start making some money instead. Click on the link below and it could change your life.